If I asked you to name the single most iconic F1 team ever, what would you say? If you at least got half a fucking brain, you'd say Ferrari.
It's terrible. Drives like a pig.
Oh, you can't say that.
Why not?
It's a Ferrari.
It's a shitbox.
Although at this point, the answer that I would also accept is Red Bull. Hands down. They're definitely climbing up there. But out of all the other teams, all of you must have picked Ferrari. Because it's a Ferrari, you know?
What do I do?
We'll come back to you.
But to all of our grief, Ferrari has done extremely poorly in the past few seasons. In fact, right now, I think Charlie and Carlos are like 5th and 6th in the standings. To me, that's just completely unacceptable for Ferrari. Literally the F1 team. And they've had a lot of setbacks, a lot of issues that have resulted in this completely, utterly poor performance and failure. Utter failure. And I'm not afraid to say it, man. I love Ferrari. I love what it stands for. The history is as rich as the fucking flavor of a classic Italian pizza. However, that fucking flavor has not helped them win any championships in the past, I actually don't know, like 10, 15 years. Fuck me. Alright, the first reason why I think Ferrari have completely failed in the modern times of F1 to score a championship is the performance. Hands down. And not specifically the car, although that's part of it. I think hands down across the board, they've just underperformed. Pit stops. Utter trash. The one thing that newcomers to F1 associate Ferrari with is shite pit stops and shite strategy. Literally. To the people that were watching F1 15 years ago and knew Ferrari for the Schumacher era and the championships that he won, now people just associated with very sad memes coming out after the race about how Ferrari f***ed it all up. It's crazy how things have changed, and I think we can't only highlight that because the reason for this complete and utter fucking shit performance has to stem from, the leadership. The way that the team is set up. With its lack of technique that they haven't been able to modernize compared to the other teams, especially fucking Red Bull. Whether it's just the shit strategy team or the inability to make decisions on the spot because there's some sort of bureaucratic step, I don't know. But you can tell that it stems from the top. And Ferrari have tried to amend this several times. I think they've gone through fucking team principles like toilet paper in the past 10 years. Trying to find who's really the culprit. But there's something fundamental there that has sewn itself into the essence of Ferrari and undermined their potential. It's really fucking sad, honestly. But it makes good memes. The second reason... God damn it. What's with my mic? The second reason that I think the Ferrari team has utterly underperformed is because they've been at the center of several scandalous events in the past 5 or so years. A great example for example, in the not so distant past, 2019, Ferrari was absolutely fucking dominating the grid. I think Charlie was winning race after race. He won Hungary, I think. And then he won Monza. What a race that was. Jesus. Never seen so many red people so happy. Especially not since then. So the Ferrari car was completely and utterly dominating the field. It had the power and the speed and everything. But then, a few rumors started lurking around in the background. People were talking, yeah, it's a bit weird that this is happening. Why is the Ferrari so fast? And in a matter of a week, the FIA started an investigation in the matter. And then, a week later, they had come to a secret agreement with Ferrari, so I didn't really blame them openly of breaching rules. But ever since that agreement had been reached, Ferrari was eating shit for 2 years. The following season, they finished 6th 6th. Their worst performance in 40 fucking years. Yeah. Bellissimo, you know? And the third point, but not the very least, of course, as usual, is I think Ferrari tends to make quite a lot of mistakes in the race. And it's not only, as I mentioned, the strategy team. They're shit. I mean, that's not a surprise. But the drivers. Charlie is a good example. He's a phenomenal driver. He has what it takes, in my opinion, to give it to Verstappen in an equal car. But he does tend to make mistakes, doesn't he? Maybe it's that exact driving style, the aggressiveness that he takes in the race, gives him that edge over everyone else. If he wouldn't have like an absolute shitbox that he drives. But it also risks him just putting it in the wall, making these little tiny errors that cost him the whole bloody fucking race. Like putting that, I think in Baku hit the wall. I don't actually know any other fucking races, but there's so many clips of this. You can just search it up. But it's these little mistakes that, across the team appear and remove all the progress and good spirits that they've had. Although Carlos is pretty smooth, no pun intended. They are the exact team you would expect to make these mistakes. Red Bull don't. If a Red Bull driver makes a mistake, Lewis pushed him off. Alright, to summarize, I mean, it's a sad thing that I have to make this video. It's a sad thing that I have to comment on Ferrari's performance in such a bad light, but it's getting quite ridiculous. And maybe when the 2019 affair happened, and in 2020 they ate shit, it was sort of explainable. You could understand why that might have been. But since the regulations have changed and the tides have and the turns have tided, and the tables have turned, and the turns have tabled, you would expect that when Red Bull took the helm, Ferrari would be somewhere there. But they're not. In fact, Mercedes have had the time to eat ass and then come back stronger. I think they're number 2 now. Ferrari, God knows what place they're in. I think it's 4. Or maybe Aston Martin is just behind them. I mean, Lance Stroll is just fucking anchoring that team. What can you do? It's disappointing and sad, and I wish it would have been different. And I hope I will make a film that is titled Ferrari The Comeback. I hope. I dearly hope for that. But so far it doesn't seem like that's going to happen. So, peace.